Good afternoon, everyone. We'll begin in about 60 seconds. I don't know if anybody had any initial questions. I have the Q&A box up, but we will begin on time. Thanks to everyone for coming. So I have 2 o'clock on AT&T time, so we will start. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I will take questions at the end, and we'll get to everyone's questions and answers. This is about social media, so I expect we will certainly have quite a few questions. It is one of those topics that it can be both very easy or very difficult, and it's always somewhere in between for everyone. So welcome to a simple recipe for social media success. For today's webinar, we're going to go through content for about the first 35 minutes or so, and then we'll open the session for questions. Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming. And let's see, I'll put this here. As a small business, you may have heard that you need to be on social media to grow your business, but the thought of how to get started, which channels to be on, how to engage with people and get results that grow your business can seem overwhelming. We know that as a small business, you don't have a lot of time or resources to help you get started with and keep up with social media. So let's take a look at why using social media for a business or nonprofit can be so powerful. In this day and age, people want to be able to find and communicate with you on social media. The truth is that 21% of consumers are more likely to buy from brands that they can reach on social media. Today, we'll discuss some of the ways and reasons that people will want to find and interact with you. Another benefit of social media is that you can influence your audience. 37% of consumers' purchasing decisions are actually influenced or inspired by their friends' social media posts, something that's really going to help spread the word about your business. Another benefit of social media is that people want to show support for causes they believe in. 84% choose to share information in order to help spread the word for a cause. Now, these stats right here are just a few of the reasons you should be using social media. And today we're going to touch base on how you can get started without spending a lot of time and feeling overwhelmed. Let's look ahead and see what specific topics we're going to cover. We're going to start by talking about choosing the right social networks for your business depending on your industry and what it is you're looking to accomplish. Then we're going to provide the 15-minute plan where you'll be able to accomplish a variety of things in order to meet your goals. And lastly, we'll talk about how you can grow your business with advertising in today's pay-to-play world of social media. First, if you didn't know, I'm Vito Kukuru, founder and owner of Consult Vito. I am the Vice President of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I'll be President next year. This is a Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce event where we have been trying to bring everybody some marketing information they can use and act on, and this is a Constant Contact content-specific webinar. So Constant Contact has this content, and we're bringing it to everyone in the chamber who signed up today. And if you're not in the chamber, you can always join the chamber. You can contact myself or Suzanne. If you're interested, I am also a Constant Contact certified partner, which means I've taken the training, I'm licensed to sell the product, and I have passed the certification test. So I do know quite a bit about Constant Contact email system. And coming up, speaking of, due to popular demand, I'm going to redo the how to write effective marketing emails for any situation. We did have well over 100 people sign up for that one, and it did prove to be very popular. I will do it again on July 8th, 2020 at 2 p.m. And then July, my apologies, July 22nd, we will do Get More Opens with great subject lines. So this one is going to be all about subject lines. It's going to go over things that may trigger spam filters It's going to be telling you about the trends, how you should build a great subject line. There is some information in how to write effective marketing emails for any situation about subject lines, but this one's going to be all about subject lines. And it is July 22nd. My apologies for that. Okay, so choosing the right networks. Let's get back to it. Now, before we talk about the specifics for social platforms, it's important to understand the fundamental goals that your social activity should be accomplishing. If you're not meeting your goals, you may feel like you're just spinning your wheels and wasting time with social media. So let's break it down into 3 goals that you want to make sure you're accomplishing with the resources and time you do have for social media. Awareness, customer service, and action. Now you'll notice that as we dive into these goals a bit, that they can be tethered together in many ways. Generating awareness and providing customer service via social media often help you to drive more action and engagement. So let's talk about that a little bit more about awareness. The first goal, which really helps you get to found and build interest in your business or organization. If you're not on social media, you're sure to be missing out on opportunities to be found. Social media is a tool that can also help with your search engine optimization. That's how you get found on Bing, Google, Yahoo, etc. And makes it easier to find you. When people are doing an online search, they'll go to Google, search for the type of business or service that they're looking for, and ideally, you want your business to pop up in those search results with your website and social media pages. Another thing that people are doing is going to a platform like Facebook or Instagram and searching directly for your business there. And of course, they're doing this because they want to see deeper information about who you are and where you're located. They're going to be looking at your information and deciding what they want to do, whether or not they want to do business with you. Social media is a huge source of word of mouth for your business, and all of the interactions you have will help to generate awareness for your business. And social media generates more awareness because of the connections of people that engage with you. It allows more people to see those interactions. Basically, people need to find you and they need to see that you're interacting with people and that you are a trustworthy business. Now, one of the hesitations that we do hear from small businesses about using social media is that it can be hard to quantify and measure the impact. In terms of measuring whether you're getting enough awareness, look at things like foot traffic, and when you can, ask people how they found out about you. Or if you're getting them to sign up to your email list online or in store, ask them where they heard about you. Customer service. The second goal you want to accomplish with your social media efforts is customer service. This is something that's super important in today's world, and that's because about 45% of consumers visit social media as one of the first channels they'll go to if they have questions or issues. And those who receive good customer service via Twitter are likely to spend 20% more and are 30% more likely to recommend the brand. Providing customer service in turn tethers back to awareness because the more people who see you interacting and providing great customer service, the more trustworthy you look to those who are just finding your business for the first time. And there's 2 sides to this. You're going to be able to find those people who like your business, who can leave reviews and share their experiences. And this also gives you the opportunity to win over those who don't like your business or have feedback for you. And that's your chance to convert those people to make them happy and show others you truly do care. People just want to be heard, and you want to show them that you're engaging and listening to people. Providing customer service allows you to control the narrative of your business. Well, that might sound scary. You can try to help and improve the experience. Now, in terms of how to gauge success with customer service, look at your total interactions. Look at those mentions to understand if you're seeing more or less, because again, this relates back to generating awareness for new customers and prospects for your business. Action. Now, the third goal you want to accomplish with your social media efforts is getting people to take action. You want to push from visibility of the other 2 goals into really driving your business or organization. You want to ask them to do something. It might be to buy something, go to your event, or donate to your cause if you're a nonprofit. For this, you need to think about what you need the most. If you're a nonprofit, it might mean volunteers or donations. And if you're a for-profit business, you typically want people to make a purchase or sign up for a membership. Your fans will follow you for a reason. So it's important to ask them to do something, even if it's providing a link back to your blog post or your website. You want to create a craving and get people interacting with you. You want them to share photos of their visit to your location or even share how they're using and loving your products and even share your posts. Take a look at how other businesses are successfully using social media to get ideas, and also keep an eye on what your competitors are doing. See what they're doing, what's drawing engagement and awareness to come up with strategies that will help you to essentially steal business from your competitors to make you stand out. So we've talked about these goals to really focus on for creating awareness, providing customer service, and getting people to take action. Later on, these goals are going to play a role in how you're planning to spend your time and effort on social media. So let's talk about the platforms. One of the biggest questions I always get is, do I need to be on every social media platform? Because right now there are a ton of them. Where do I need to be? In short, you don't need to be on every platform. There just isn't enough time or resources to spend on all of them as a small business. Our recommendation is to choose one channel that makes the most sense for your business to focus on so you can learn how to use it most effectively to drive results. Otherwise, you'll be spreading yourself thin, doing just a little bit on every channel and not seeing much from your efforts. And that's also why we're going to focus on these 5 platforms. These are the top 5 most used platforms, and they've been around for a while, and we've seen businesses have success on them. And there are tons of other platforms out there, and some of them are very new and some of them are great. But for those of you just getting started on social media, we suggest the top 5 to get your efforts going, and then you consider adding more in later. Now, of course, we're not saying to use them all, but that's what this section is about. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of each of these platforms and how they work so you can make an informed decision for your business or organization. And on that note, there are a few things that are going to factor into your social media platform decisions, such as your industry, your target audiences, the resources you're able to dedicate, all become factors. Okay. So we have a question, and we're going to get to that at the end, but it says, we're new to social media, we're a B2B business. Do I like my competitors' Facebook, Instagram, etc. pages? So I'm just going to answer that real quick, and I'll probably come back to it. You don't have to necessarily like them. You can follow them without liking them by going back there. There's really no harm in liking them. There's no harm in watching what other people are doing. There's no harm in getting an understanding of how they're operating. I don't think anyone would take offense necessarily. And you can do it on your own private feed. Your company page can't like a company page. So you'd probably be doing it as an individual. And I don't think there's any harm in doing that at all. And a lot of people would do that anyway. So let's get into Facebook. For a lot of businesses and nonprofit organizations, this is considered the place to be. You can reach and engage with a large number of customers, donors, members, whoever your audience is. A wide variety of audience types can be found on Facebook to connect with friends, family, and stay up to date with news. Really, just about any type of business can find an audience on Facebook. That includes B2B, software, luxury goods and services, and then of course, nonprofits. Facebook's fairly easy to use, and it's great to help you share a variety of content like images, videos, and links, really helping you to generate word of mouth and awareness and drive results with clicks to purchase or people getting more information. Facebook is great for any of you hosting any sort of event, such as trunk shows, special event dinners, art shows, or even concerts. Okay. With the Facebook event calendar, you can post your events for free and make it easy for people to find your next event. This is great because it will also notify people based on their interests in the local area. That Facebook calendar can be very powerful. They'll get a notification about your event even if they're not following you. If you ever wonder why you're being told about certain events in the area, that's why it's happening. Okay. And next up is Twitter. The next social media platform to consider is Twitter. The audience on Twitter is typically younger and tends to be popular with highly educated individuals. Twitter's fast-moving, real-time, news-driven platform. Consumers often go to Twitter for customer service, so be prepared to engage and respond to customers here. Twitter is great for retail businesses, nonprofits, and even newspaper and media outlets. This platform is great for different types of businesses and nonprofit organizations. So if you have a lot of events that are happening in real time, consider using Twitter to engage with your audience. Again, you'll want to have a wide variety of content that you can share to generate clicks, engagement, and even drive some foot traffic from your Twitter efforts. That means videos, photos, and excuse me, all the other storytelling items that you can amass. And you should expect for consumers to seek you out for customer service, which is why you'll often see customer service teams answering questions on Twitter, people giving the thumbs up, etc. Okay. Next up, Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Let's move on and talk about that one. The audience is fairly young. Most users are between the ages of 18 and 29, most being women who use the platform. With this highly visual platform, it's important to note that there are very little ways to link from Instagram to your website or product page. So let me repeat that because that often comes up. There are very small number of ways to link your Instagram to your website or product pages. Usually you have to do that in the comment section, so you have to comment on your own post. However, this is a tool you can use to build your brand. Instagram is considered a mobile-first platform, so people can easily take pictures and videos and share them directly from the app wherever they are. For Instagram, you need to have high-quality images and videos that you can share on this platform. And because it's so visual, it can help you to generate foot traffic, engagement, and word-of-mouth awareness. It's great for any business that has a visual story to tell, such as bakeries, coffee shops, independent retailers, travel agencies, concert venues, and art museums, and more. So for the content, think of anything you can use visual to entice prospects, customers, and supporters. Show people the behind the scenes of your business, your products, and even quotes that relate back to your business. And that goes back to that question, should I follow my competitors? If you're in a small town and there's only 3 of you who do this business, you could probably go follow other companies and other cities that do the exact same thing you do that are in your competitive space. So you're thinking about following people or gaining followers, remember that it's all global, right? So if you're a florist shop in Farmington Hills, you might want to check out how florist shops do it in Miami, how they do it in Dubuque, Iowa, how they do it in Jersey City, because that's probably where you're going to get a lot of great ideas. I often like to look at large cities, small cities, and medium-sized cities for competitors and see what they do. So Instagram, moving to Pinterest. Well, actually, we're going to go back to Instagram for a minute. In terms of resources and expertise level that's needed for Instagram, Instagram is medium to high. So definitely something to consider based on when you're at the social media journey for your business. One of the features I want to mention that's been very popular is Instagram Stories. The feature was created to allow users to share moments of their day very quickly without a lot of effort. It has the ability to support photos and videos, and it will stay on the account for 24 hours and then disappear. So remember, Instagram Stories, 24 hours, and then they disappear. And it's great because you don't have to worry about trying to beat and work through Instagram's algorithm. Your story gets featured at the top of the home feed, and you can bump your story to the front of the line by simply adding another element to your story. Another great reason to use Instagram Stories is that it provides a reminder when your story is about to expire. This is something that's really going to help you organically. One thing to note is that Facebook does have story options too, but it hasn't gained as much traffic. So to save on some time and effort, you might try cross-posting your Instagram story to Facebook. Because remember, Facebook and Instagram work together and you can cross-post. You just have to set that up in the settings. It's very easy to do. Now, sharing the exact same thing across every platform is not something we normally recommend, but it is something you can try to see if you're gaining any traction with the Facebook story feature. Now let's move to Pinterest, another visual platform. This one is considered more of a niche platform despite a large amount of users. It's important to note that the audience here is mostly female. This platform has better linking capabilities than Instagram, so you'll be able to drive traffic and clicks back to your products, website, blog, or any other resources. It's going to help you increase the visibility of your website and help with search engine optimization when you're linking back to your website. And that goes back to, once again, Instagram. It's very difficult. They don't let you put the link of your business on each post. You have to usually put that in the comments. After you post, you go back to your post, and then you put something in the comments as a link. So it doesn't come out as strong as if you're using Pinterest or Facebook. And again, there are a wide variety of businesses or organizations that find value with Pinterest. Some of the largest types of users are interior design, businesses who share pins and ideas for their followers' homes, wedding venues, and planning, just about anything to do with catering, restaurants, or the food business. For that, you can think of sharing recipes and great looking images of your food. In terms of content, think about the types of images that will inspire people to take action. Think about how to information and even relevant quotes to keep people inspired. Depending on your expertise and resource level with social media, we consider Pinterest to be fairly high, especially for someone just getting started. Next, LinkedIn. It's a professionally driven social network and not based on personal interests. For the audience here, it's mostly popular with college graduate and high-income earners. LinkedIn allows you to share a variety of different types of content. It's great for links and driving traffic back to your website and other resources to help you meet your goals. That includes event registrations. And in case people didn't know, LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft bought them to expand their CRM capabilities. So it is a Microsoft product. LinkedIn is a platform you want to establish your expertise in your industry. LinkedIn groups can be great for networking and sharing your expertise. It's also great to find your target audience. And if you didn't know, you can start your own LinkedIn group just by creating a group, giving it a name, and you can invite people, or you can leave it open so people can join it. So you can actually manage and own the entire group. Again, a variety type of businesses and organizations find success with LinkedIn. Most commonly B2B companies, but also considered if you're, say, a software company, offer luxury goods or services, and of course for nonprofits. We consider LinkedIn to be a medium resource and expertise level to use it. Think about the types of things you can share in order to show your expertise. You might consider sharing case studies of your customers, industry news, and even tips and best practices. I do suggest people, even if it's just a placeholder, to grab your LinkedIn page, because what often happens is LinkedIn will create a page for you based on your LinkedIn profile, and it's waiting there to be claimed. So I've had a few clients who have had LinkedIn pages created for them by LinkedIn without them knowing, and I've had to sort of point that out, and then we've had to claim that page. So even if you don't if you don't want to be active on LinkedIn and or you just want to post from your personal LinkedIn, perfectly acceptable, but it is something to think about to claim your LinkedIn page, LinkedIn business page, because LinkedIn may create that business page for your company anyway. So it's just something to consider. I also want to mention that each of these platforms offer advertising, which is going to be a great addition to your social strategy. And that's something we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So one of the big messages is don't try to be everywhere. And I know the thought of social media for a lot of small businesses can be overwhelming. And if you're just getting started or struggling to manage multiple channels, we recommend choosing one platform to really focus your efforts and then adding another platform once you feel like you've got that first one completely mastered and it's humming. That way you can figure out what works, what doesn't, and adjust your strategy to get results moving forward. Now, let's talk about getting people to follow you. We hear all the time how small businesses don't have enough people to follow them. The truth is you have to do a little work to increase your following. One of my favorite ways is to search for people and follow them. Depending on your business, you can search for people in your local area, which might be good for a local restaurant or boutique, or you can search for hashtags that are related to your business. Once you follow them, you'll have a good chance of getting people to follow you back. And that's another key to Instagram. A lot of the Instagram audiences that get built are if you like them, they'll tend to like you. So Instagram, again, has that sort of extra amount of work that you have to do to get followers. You've also got to ask your current customers that you're already having conversations with. That means you want to ask people on your email list, which means just adding a social media block that links to your active social media channels and ask them to follow you. And don't forget about those in-person interactions as well. If you're out networking or someone is making a purchase in store, tell them to check out your social page and follow you there to stay up to date, which is why a lot of times when you go into stores, the first thing they say is, hey, make sure you check in on Facebook, or hey, make sure you mention us on Facebook. It's a way to grow your following. So let's get into, now that we've talked about the channels that we want to use, let's talk about getting the message out there with the 15-minute social media plan. At this point, you need to start sharing content and engaging people. That's where your recipe and social media plan will start to come together. As a smaller business or nonprofit, we know that you don't have a lot of time, and that's why it's helpful to set up a plan that will help you reach goals and see success with your social media recipe. Excuse me. So, you want to focus your efforts to meet these three goals. For your plan, you want to think back to the three goals we talked about a few minutes ago. Each of these goals is going to create awareness, provide customer service, and encourage action. So you want to break it down into about 5 minutes for each of these every day. The shorter amount of time will make your social media efforts more manageable, and over time with this plan, you'll be able to learn what works for your audience and your business, and you'll be able to make better decisions. And once you see results and you start to look at what's working and what's not, you'll be able to invest more time and resources for your social activities. So, how can you generate awareness? Here on the screen, we've got some examples of sharing a menu or even your business updates. For this, think about any changes in your office hours or anything like that. You can also share some behind the scenes of how your product is made. You can also create awareness by sharing your own blog content or even sharing industry information that relates back to your business. I do want to mention that creating awareness about your business on social is going to vary for different kinds of businesses. The idea is to create content and keywords that helps you show up when someone searches online for a business like yours. Now to the second goal, customer service. Here we've got some examples, and we always want to make sure that we monitor our mentions so you can respond and engage with them once a day or more urgently as needed. Check on and respond to people who have rated or reviewed your business on Facebook. You want to respond to them whether it's good or bad feedback, and answer any questions you get. It's important to know that people may be talking about you without directly mentioning your business name, as they may tag your location. And another thing to note in your replies, you want to make sure that they look unique and sound sincere. So in other words, don't just say, hey, thank you. Make sure your responses are unique to each question or comment. So if someone says, the dessert was the best dessert I ever had, you can write something, our chef thanks you for the compliment. Hope you can come in for hope you can try the next dessert the next time you ring, because we're going to have a new one that's going to come out next week. All those types of interactions, make it personal to that person. Encouraging action. There are a ton of different things you can do to encourage action from your followers. Create a Facebook for your upcoming events to encourage registrations. Share posts to encourage people to take action, to purchase a product, schedule a consultation, ask them to leave a review, or sign up to your email list. Think about getting users to generate content. For instance, run a contest asking people to share images of a product they bought or results of them using your product or service. This all leads back to helping you create awareness. Back in the old days, remember the contest? Give us 50 words as to why you love Fruit Loops. Well, same kind of idea, right? You also see a lot of companies saying, here's our product, here's 50 other ways people use Arm & Hammer baking soda. Those are all good ideas for people to generate content. Another way you can encourage action is to ask them to turn on notifications on Twitter, or ask them to click the following button on Facebook, and ask them to check the option to see your post first. So I want to go over that one more time. At the top of your Facebook page, when people go there, there's the little following button. They click that on your page and they put see first. What that means is that when they log into Facebook, if you posted something, you're going to the top of their feed. Not many people know or understand how that works, but it's the see first. It's at the very top of your page underneath the hero image. It'll say following, and you can click that, and someone can put see first, and then they see you when they log in. So it's a great way also for you, if you're really interested in a particular group, company, what have you, if you click see first on their page, you're going to know that you're going to see their content when you log in or when you leave Facebook and then come back. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are sitting here thinking about how you won't be able to figure out what information to share, but I do want to mention that you have a variety of content, and you don't want to try and sell all the time. You want to have a good variety of helpful content versus strictly promotional when you're selling your product or asking for donations. Your blog content, your email content, it's great to repurpose on social media. It also helps to extend the reach that you already have. And you got a couple of options with email. You can easily share your emails on social media using the social share tool in Constant Contact if you subscribe there. If you're going to do this, I encourage you, you don't want to do this with every email because you do want the content in your emails to be special to the email list, or people wouldn't be on your email list. They would just follow you on social. So you do want to give them maybe a sneak peek or tease a topic, but you don't have to share every single email that you send out. And the other way is you can think about each piece of content or block within your email. So each piece of content can become an individual social media post. For your blog content, you can write a short excerpt of your blog post and include the link to the full post. And I would encourage you, if you're blogging, always share on social media and put the blog inside of your email newsletter. You're taking a lot of time to create a blog, so make sure you get the most use out of it. And when you're sharing content, you don't have to share the exact same messages over every channel, but you can adjust for each of the individual platform and the audience on that platform, because you don't want to alienate people who may be using multiple social platforms. So as we discussed, Instagram's highly visual, so maybe there's a picture from a post or a picture that you can talk about briefly, like a mini blog post. Think of the things that we talked about that make each of those social media platforms special. Find and sharing industry news. You're also going to want to breathe a sigh of relief because not every post or piece of content has to be something that you own. You want to look for content from trusted sources that can relate back to your industry. That means you might look for industry news, helpful infographics, video content, data, and even blog posts. This is the kind of content that will help you to keep people interested, even when you don't have information of your own to share. You can use a tool like Twitter's advanced search or even a tool like Feedly that allows you to search and find related content. You can also search based on keywords, locations, or hashtags to find content that can be reshared to your own audience. You do want to share the link to the original source, and you should consider adding a short note with your perspective or why your audience will find the piece of content valuable. At this point, you've got some good information for your own social media plan. So just to repeat that, because it is important, because a lot of people struggle with generating content. If you're seeing something that's related to your business or your industry, maybe it's a useful tip. It could be something from the local news content website. As an example, I have a realtor as a client, and the real estate market's really heating up, and there's a whole article about that in the local news website. So we put a link on it, gave a one sentence perspective, and that posted very, very well. So let's go on to that last section, getting started with paid social advertising. To start, I do want to mention there have been some recent trends and changes in the social world. In a recent study, it was found that a third of millennials have permanently deleted their social media accounts. These changes may be due to the recent privacy issues as well as negative feelings towards social media. And it used to be that you could use social media for free and grow your business and following organically. However, social media platforms are trying to fight the good fight and adjust their algorithms so users see more information from their friends, followers, and groups, which has cut out a lot of businesses. So now you should really consider adding paid ads to your social media strategy. Social media ads will help you reach new people for your business because paid ads get a guaranteed spot on your target audience's newsfeed. So in other words, a few years ago, you could grow your following organically. People would see your posts, and then Facebook and others change their algorithm, which is how they present the information, to make it so that you're only seeing friends and coworkers or whoever, your immediate people you interacted with. And they've cut out a lot of businesses in terms of reaching people to force people to pay for the advertising. So the user experience became more positive for many people because they're only seeing people who posted things, but they're missing out on the businesses they were following, which forces businesses to do some paid advertising. And as far as that goes, the next big question I always get is, so how much should I pay? How much advertising should we do? And I can't stress this enough. You don't need a huge budget, because what you want to do is you want to use their targeting features to make sure that you're reaching the right people. And when you see on Facebook, boost this post, you don't want to boost this post. What you want to do is set up a business manager account, put your business page into the business manager account, because what that does is it opens up a lot of targeting for you It opens up your ability to put a Facebook pixel on your website, which then allows you to only pay for conversions or pay for when people actually go to your website. So LinkedIn's the same way. You want to set up a business manager type account. And a lot of people don't realize it, and they spend $15, $25, $45 because it's so enticing and they're going to reach 3,000 people. Well, start thinking about setting up the business manager account. It's very easy to do. And everything I'm telling you, if you want to send me an email or ask more questions, more than happy to help you set that up. But it is a good idea to start considering those types of accounts. And we're not saying you have to have a huge budget, because social media ads are a cost-effective way to promote your business. For some of the most searched terms on Google, advertising costs about $50 per click, and the average cost per click on Facebook is about $1.72. So it's much more affordable. And social ads can be hard to understand if you're just starting your journey with social media. So one of the easiest ways to create a social ad is to use a lead ads tool with an email program like Constant Contact. And it really is an easy tool to use and cuts through a lot of the difficulty. And there is a Facebook lead ads tool, and soon they're going to have one for Instagram as well. It allows you to easily target people with email messages to entice them to purchase your products or services or become a member of your organization. Lead ads are just one type of ad you could create, but depending on your goal, you could get them to follow your page or take action to purchase your product. You have a lot of options when it comes to creating ads and growing your business organization. And that's another reason to set up these business manager accounts, because there's about 7 or 8 goals for each of these social media platforms when you start to advertise. And then it takes you through the process. It's very simple to set up the ads. And if you have a problem setting up the ads, I suggest you use a program like Canva, Canva.com, because it'll give you all the specifications that you need to build some of these ads. So let's move to targeting the right audience. Your target audience may be one of the most important parts of creating a successful ad. If you're targeting too broad of an audience, the chances of success are slim of getting them to sign up or take action. So you want to start narrowing down your custom audience. It'd be nice if you could get 100,000 leads or email subscribers, but you've got to think realistically in order to target the right people to take action. You don't want to waste your time or money. So you start by getting specific about that target audience. Most of the major social media channels are going to allow you to create custom audiences in order to target people based on demographics, behaviors, locations, and interests. You'll want to include and exclude people based on characteristics. So one common scenario that I get a lot is people want to grow their email list or get new customers within a certain radius of their location. This is why social ads can be great, because you get really specific with your targeting in order to accomplish something like this. You can start to go around the city with income, demographics, ages, all of that. One example is Facebook will show you a gauge with your audience size. So will LinkedIn. It's going to tell you the size of your audience, if things are too specific, if it's too broad, and often will give you an estimate as to what the results will be based on your budget. So think about the characteristics of your current prospects or audiences. What are their interests, job titles, etc.? Okay, let's see. Targeting with plus. Some of you may find it beneficial to use a lookalike audience, and this is a very hot topic in social media advertising. It's a custom audience as a starting point. And if you're a business or organization that doesn't rely as much on geographical locations, you might need some additional data to make sure you're targeting the right audience. That's where you can add another layer of targeting with lookalike audiences. A lookalike audience allows you to identify common qualities of people who are already in your subscriber base. A social media platform will create a list of users that you'll target in order to resemble your existing customers or email subscribers, therefore increasing the chances of them taking action. So in many cases, you have to have a list of several hundred contacts in order to create a lookalike audience for your ad targeting. For Facebook and Instagram, you need about 300 contacts. And a lookalike audience, that's a custom audience for information, enhances your efforts. So basically, you're taking your email list, you're uploading it, and what they're going to do is they're going to see if those users are on their social media platform, and then they're going to look to see what those users look like, their hobbies, their interests, and then they're going to model those people to find you new people who are not on your list. The lookalike audience. Designing and publishing your ad. You need to think about the information that you'll catch your audience's attention. Go back to your goals and think about what you're actually trying to accomplish with your ad. Are you trying to generate awareness or get people to take action or purchase a product? Think about the goals and think about the specific business goals. For generating awareness, you could think about existing content that will educate the audience and turn them into leads. Or maybe it's a download of a product guide or providing content that will really engage and move them to make a purchase of your product later on. Or maybe you want to provide a customer service story via video in your ad to show the value of your business and what you can provide. Customer testimonials, always great. Case studies, always great. For those of you already using email marketing, your email reports can be a good indicator of what your potential audience might engage with in an ad. So look at those opens and clicks on those topics that you put in your email, and that's a good indication as to what you might want to put in an ad. Design and publish your ad. I want to note that all social platforms are a little different, and this is going to be an example of a Facebook lead ad. In your ad, you'll have a short amount of text to tell your story and win over your audience. Make sure to focus on the benefits of your product, service, or programs, and relate this information back to the specific audience you're choosing. With the lead ads, connections with Constant Contact, you'll essentially be asking them to join your email list, so think about what offer you might entice them to sign up. Your ad will need to have an attention-grabbing visual. You'll have the ability to add an image, a slideshow of up to 10 images, or a video. Remember, your visual needs to support your message and your goal. You might choose to showcase your products or services. Right now, Facebook does offer stock images if you're having problems finding them. And again, Canva, Pixabay, and there's a couple others that are free to find images from. In terms of visuals, look for images with strong colors. Using line art style, bold eye-catching color, or use photography that pops. Monotone or earth tone images are good options here. In several platforms, a headline will show below your image or visual. Don't use the default or leave the default name of your business because it's wasting valuable space. And on that note, there's always more than likely going to be a set of call to action buttons you can choose from, including apply now, download, get quote, learn more, sign up, and subscribe. Social ads are about encouraging action and getting them to click. And this is where you want people to fill out a form to receive whatever it is you're offering. Just make sure that button makes sense to what you're trying to get in return. Then, of course, if you have the opportunity, you can set this up, email automation. You want to start engaging that audience and keeping them engaged once they fill out your form. So it's important to follow up with whatever audience you've offered or entice them. If you're using a lead ads tool in Constant Contact and some of the other platforms, the contacts can automatically be synced to your account. So now you can start to build a relationship. And that's where the marketing automation comes into play, which is a phrase you may have heard, that marketing, email marketing automation. So use an automated series of emails to engage these new leads or email contacts, allowing you to engage your leads right away so they don't sit stagnant in your database and forget about you. The ideas on how you can use it to engage your contacts from social media ads are, of course, endless, but you can welcome them to your list, share some of your best content, or encourage them to take further action. So from Constant Contact, you can create and manage those ads with your Facebook and Instagram profiles. Next, review and revise. Let's take a look at what you want to do next. To view your results and revise your efforts for next time, you'll want to view the number of impressions, which is the total number of times your ad is displayed to social media platforms. You want to look at the total leads you got. You want to know the cost per lead. That's how much you spent on your ad divided by the total leads. And then total you spent versus the total cost you spent, to the total you spent and how much it was to run the ad and what you got out of it. Now, of course, when you think about some of those stats outside of that, to see if you met your goal. Did you get people to do what you wanted them to? Did people start purchasing a product more? Did they register for an event? And the idea is to fully understand the performance of that ad. And there's great tools within all the social media platforms to help you do that. So think about when you're watching the results, can you make an adjustment on the fly? So if you're seeing that your ad is reaching a lot of women and that's part of your core audience, maybe you want to start to increase the percent of dollars or just make that target fully a woman target and have a separate campaign set up to reach both and have a separate campaign set up to reach men. And now you're really seeing maybe women, men, and men, 3 different targets for 3 different campaigns, and you can still only spend maybe $20 for all 3, and you can start to get some learnings. So let's recap. At this point, let's talk about those social media efforts, focusing on 3 key goals: drive awareness, provide customer service, encourage people to take action to buy something, register for your event, or donate to your cause. And don't forget, you don't need to be active on every platform. If you're just getting started, start with one. And once you get going, consider others that will work for your business. Start by spending those 15 minutes a day on the 3 goals. And once you start seeing results, you likely want to spend more time and resources. Use social ads to get a guaranteed spot in your target audience's timeline. Set up those social ads to reach new people and grow your business. If you have to be someone who's currently struggling to use multiple platforms, try just that, using the one. I do want to mention, of course, it is a Constant Contact webinar brought to you by the Chamber. There are a lot of tools that Constant Contact has. It has email, but you can build websites via Constant Contact. It can help you design and build logos, and it has social ads capability. It's all connected now. And of course, it has social media you can post directly from the email provider. So there's a lot of products that people may not have been aware of. And I am Vito Kukuru, founder and owner of Consult Vito, VP, Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Board of Directors. I want to thank everyone for coming. I'm a Constant Contact certified partner. Some of the things that we do, we have these webinars coming up, how to write effective marketing emails. I did do this one before, but it was hugely popular.